Good afternoon once more. It's just coming close to noon. It's still good morning. It's 22:38 military time, or the equivalent of 10:39 you're off, which is the same as approximately 20 minutes to 11. You're at the Westin Atlanta Airport, 4376 Best Road, College Park, Georgia. The Western Atlanta Airport. In previous session, I have called it the Western Atlanta, Georgia, but there's no Georgia in it, though it is in the state of Georgia. And I'm continuing now, as I have said, that I would have introduced my discovery matrix, in which I've been working on since implicitly since 1985 thereof in Schilling's laboratory. Professor Donald Schilling's laboratory. He was a professor and chairman of IEEE at the time. That is way back in 1985, 86. Implicitly, explicitly, and more vigorously, I've been working on it since 1989. And 2005, I began to do physical work on it, producing up to about 170 plus macro notebooks with the matrices and the sub-matrices that I've saturated with serials of the configuration 1 by 11. But let me get on with this session. As usual, my name is Dolphy Gilpin, and I've discovered this matrix, and I've expanded on it exponentially, physically, theoretically, written many notebooks, many flash drives, many computer work, computer analysis, a stochastic proof I've given at various universities, and now here am I at the Western Georgia, Atlanta. Now the general form of this matrix is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and B plus. And I will explain to it what exactly it means. I, J, K, Q, R, S, Y, Z, D, all in upper cases, because they represent upper cases in a 1 by 11 configuration. Now the lower cases, now A, B, C, D represent digits, numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 0. And they could be same, but in general, there are different numbers. I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O will be different numbers now. Q, R, S, T, different digital numbers, numerical numbers. Y, Z, alpha. I've run out of English alphabets, so I've used now alpha, beta, gamma, delta, sigma, and N for represent numbers. And likewise, I've used some Hebrews, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, A, Vav, Zain, Chet, Tet. No, I'm not saying this in systematic order, because I know this is Aleph, and I think I know this is U, and this is Vav, He. That I know, U, A, Vav, He, but the rest, because I've not revised my Hebrew alphabet for a long time, I just write them down, not knowing exactly what they are. I think this is Tasadi, and this is Lambda, and this is Yod, and this is Aleph. Nevertheless, they represent also digits, numbers, and that's that. Now, I've said no, this is a simple, miraculous, astounding, revolutionary, not in the sense of volatile revolution, that war, not war or revolution. I'm talking a revolution of peace. Peaceful and joyful revolution, this is. This is not used in the sense of war, or revolution of war and volatility and violence. Hardworking, because there's a lot of hard work have been put in this matrix. Proven 5 by 11 plus 1 as a 5 by 12 matrix that can change the course of history to economic, political, engineering and scientific, social, health and prosperity, if adopted. And that is the word now, if adapted, because I've introduced this matrix to various universities, societies, in politics, to various politicians, and everybody wants to use it in there for their own selfish gain. But if it's adapted to solve a universal problem, then it can do so. So A, B, and C ones is represent letters. They will remain as letters. I, J, K, Q, R, S, they will remain as letters. Y, Z, D, E, F, G. But the lowercase A, B, C, D are numericals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For example, this could be 1, this could be 2, this could be 3, this could be 4, this could be 5, this could be 6, this could be 7, this could be 8, this could be 9, this could be 0, this could be 1, this could be 2. Or randomly, this could be 5, this could be 6, this could be 9, this could be 0, this could be 8, 4, this could be 5. Random or sequential. They represent numbers. The B likewise represent alphabets as well. Alphabet, alphabet, alphabet. And this is the 12th one for the 12th. But I've separated because in the calculation and the matrix, the 5 by 11 comes together, and this one is isolated, which is the 12th. And the plus means that sometimes this take on some sub numericals, like this could be B12, this could be like a B12 vitamin, if you want to give it a sort of a biochemical sort of significance. This could be J11, this could be J star, this could be R2, this could be Z5, this could be F6. And in some cases I've seen this given as a superscript, but in most cases it is subscript. F6, Z5, R11, J11, B star, or B12. Because later on I'll show you that this also has a sort of a chemical pharmacologic explanation to it. It's very multidimensional, it's very wide, and I cannot explain all of this in one session. But mathematically now, this is the general matrix, the general formula. If you notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's why I say 1 by 11. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 rows and 11 columns, make it into 5 by 11. And the plus one will be this one over here, which is isolated. Now with this, I've written over 150 notebooks, macro notebooks, filled with the 1 by 11 derivation of exponential quantity, magnanimous quantity indeed, new, unlimited, endless possibilities, as some would say, and the probability of infinity. Frictionless quantity of this can be produced, if so, but as you will see, it has an economic application. Those are the two applications I want to put out in this session. And chemical application, chemical pharmacologic application. And in the chemical, in the numerical economic application, this could represent, say, the cereals, right? A, B, C represent cereals, serial numbers on some, say, dollar bill, $10 bill, $100 bill, $20 bill. QRS, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 1 by 11 configuration. And we use this 5 by 11 matrix and we break it down into other sub-matrices until we get back some 1 by 11. And from this, likewise, derive numerous, indeed, exponential, million, billion, trillions, quadrillions of zeros in the configuration of this 1 by 11. And this isolated one is also used. It's usually B. Notice a B plus. The B takes on the mid of the ABC. B plus. And it's sometimes designated with a B subscript. 12, 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever. I put a 12 here for the chemical, like, pharmacologic application, biochemistry, B12 vitamin per se. The IJK, notice this, the 12th one is the mid. IJK and J is the mid of it. This is isolated. The QRS and the 12th one is R plus, which is, could be R sub 1, sub 2, sub 3, sub 5, sub 6, sub 11, not necessarily sequential. But it takes the mid of this QRS. YZD takes the mid Z. And the EFG takes the mid. FF, the mid of this. Alright, so that's the general format of this miraculous, astounding, revolutionary, peaceful revolution. Some of you in your negative mind want to make it into a warlike revolution. This is a peaceful explosion, revolutionary. With this matrix, we could solve multidimensional problems in various fields: economics, science, chemistry. It has a spiritual dimension, which I will not left out. Five representing 5 cereal loaves and 2 fishes. We'll work with them in pairs, twos. And 12 represent the surpluses of the miracle that Jesus did when he, from 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes, multiply and feed 5,000 people. And indeed, this could feed 5 million, 5 trillion, 5 quadrillion of people when adapted. Remember, he said in the spiritual domain that greater works his servants would do. Well, this is one way we could do greater works, by not feeding 5,000, but 5,000 times 5,000 and 5,000 of 1,000, which would lead us into quadrillions. And indeed, the earth is in such a stage now that we need to have surpluses of cereals. Not cereal, S-E-R-I-L, but C-E-R-E-A-L, as in barley, as in the 5 barley loaves that he multiplied, and the 2 fishes. And these would represent now the 12th domain, with 12 baskets of surpluses. I'm not using the word fragments, these were surpluses. The disciples pick up surpluses and they fill 12 baskets. So that if we apply this matrix and the derivation and the output thereof, we could do mighty works in the earth. We could alleviate poverty, hunger, hyperinflation, if applied properly, inflation and hyperinflation, and a balanced distribution of monetary money. Balanced distribution, I say, which will not lead to hyperinflation or inflation, but will have an economy that is balanced and that is prosperous and healthy. So this is a matrix. I use the word discover because it was always there, but nobody has really expanded on it. It's been there from even before Jesus' time, but Jesus came and he did his miracle using this same principle of 5 by 11 plus 1, in which he was the master of it all. And the 12 represent the 12 disciples, the 12 tribes of Israel, or the number 12. This is in the spiritual domain now, not religion, this is faith. And yes, he used it to multiply, and he has the power to change from material to immaterial, but I have that power, but I have the mathematical power which has given me to expand in these matrix and get the exponential output. So in my next session, what I want to show to you now is the submatrices. And in previous session, at previous conferences, I have shown you the input and the output via systematically breaking them down to the 1 by 11. So thanks. I will now get on to do the submatrices, the DDLI-PDM, the QDLI-PDM, the ADLI-PDM, and the various other from the methodology of the partial basic determinant. So in the next session, I will do just that.